Black screen time, and you know what that means, guys. It's time for a big, very, well, I won't say life-changing because that's so melodramatic, but, you know, a very transformative time for me. As of this video, screen critique, third act, the whole thing, it's done. I am out of the online film reviewing, film critique, television critique, whatever you want to call it, just that whole angle of content production, I'm gone. I'm done. I'm retiring from duty, I'm hanging up my keyboard, whatever you want to call it. I'm moving on to pastures new, mainly my creative projects. It wasn't an easy decision to make. Part of me wanted to keep going. I had so much, well, rather, excuse my poor grammar, so many other things I wanted to do, and other movies and TV shows and things I had wanted to tackle. Frankly, I could do a whole video on stuff that I hadn't done. I was going to do reviews of the Jekyll and Hyde TV series that came out on ITV a few years back. I was going to do a piece about Alcatraz, the J.J. Abrams show. I was going to review all kinds of movies. I was going to, you know, get around to things like Gone with the Wind and Vampire in Brooklyn and Snowpiercer, and maybe doing another retrospective on Lone Ranger. Like, there were a whole bunch of things that I'd wanted to do, and of course likely doing future reviews of the next series of Doctor Who with Jodie Whittaker. But I had to weigh up where I wanted to be and what my ambitions were, and I couldn't reconcile doing this for free. I don't make a dime off of any of my reviews, either here or on Third Act or anywhere, with pursuing the things I really feel passionate about, which is my screenwriting. Writing for TV, writing for film, writing for radio, writing for shorts. That's the stuff I feel most passionate about. It's where I want to be. I want to be writing movies and TV, not writing about them. And I just couldn't keep this balance up anymore. The reviews were taking time and energy away from the things that I really wanted to do, and I just couldn't keep justifying it. And look, I'm not trying to sit here and say, oh, give me money. What I'm saying is, you know, when you're an adult, it's different from when you're a teenager just popping these reviews out, you know, 5 to 10 minutes a piece on Movie Maker during a bored summer. Those days are gone now. I'm a grown-ass man with responsibilities, and I've got to think seriously about my own career, my job prospects. You know, my folks ain't getting any younger, and I've got a little nephew who, you know, I hope to be there for and provide a good role model for. I've got to think seriously about where I want to be, and in order to do that, I have to cut the stuff that isn't going to help me. That may sound incredibly cynical, but frankly, I've no choice. You know, eventually every person has to realize when it's time to put the toys in the box and move on to playing with the big kids. And it's sad to see all this go, because the guys at Third Act, James and the whole crew, have been really lovely to me. They've allowed me a lot of creative freedom and leeway to do the things that I was interested in talking about. You know, I'm grateful to my core fan base, to the people who I've become friends with over the years, Mike, Eli, Luke, Cash, Dan, all these people who have, Anna, you know, so many names right now that I can't even, you know, get them all out. But you know who you are. Thank you so much. It's just, I've considered myself lucky to have had the audience I've had when I was at the height of this channel's popularity, to have the kind of figures that I did. I mean, it's crazy to think that my little review of Dennis the Menace, the 90s version, got 70,000 views. I mean, you know, there are channels with infinitely higher production value than mine who don't pull those kind of numbers. But here's the thing. I had to make a choice, and my heart wasn't in this anymore. I love you guys too much. I respect you guys too much as rational, intelligent human beings to give you stuff that I don't care about. If I don't care about it, why should you? I'm grateful for the audience that I have, and I'm not going to disrespect them by cranking out half-assed material. So, this is how my whole movie reviewing career ends. Not with some kind of high like working at an actual newspaper or website, not by getting several $1,000 in a Patreon. And believe me, I've been tempted more than once, but I just couldn't do it. Again, not when my passion was, and I don't believe in taking money from strangers. I don't see my reviews as worthy of that kind of thing. And well, there are a million other things I could probably say, but it would all amount to the same thing. The fact is, the YouTube landscape has changed a lot, and guys like me are no longer what they want, and I'm not going to try and, put up a fight in a war that I have no interest in winning, because frankly, the rewards aren't there, and my heart is in another place. I want to move on to other things. I want to do other things. I'm working on other things, and the reviews just don't fit anymore. And I can't keep dividing attention. There are people out there like, Buck555, who does a lot of MLP reviews and, has been an on and off watcher of mine, dating back to the days when I used to make commentaries. Remember those? He's a guy who doesn't really have any interest in working in the creative field. He's just happy talking about movies and TV shows, and you know what? Great for him. He's managed to make it work for him. He has a devoted following. Great. He's pursuing his passion. I'm happy for him. Same with any other person out there I could name who just wants to do movie and TV reviews, who don't want to work in the industry. But that's not who I am. And I can't be trying to, juggle things that just aren't worth it. And I know it seems like I'm rambling, but, I just don't know what else I can say. Thanks to everybody who has followed me throughout these 7 years. I mean, that's nearly a decade. The world's changed a lot since I started out back in May of 2010. And I'm grateful to those of you who've stuck with me this long, who have been able to send me comments and messages, some of whom I've got to know very personally. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to pay attention to my silly little videos, and without you, I couldn't have made it this far. I could not have done the things I've done. I never would have done things like the Defending the Lone Ranger retrospectives, or the more popular Screen Critique and Movie Nut reviews, or the Movie Nut Discusses series, or any number of other things that I've done if you hadn't been there. I wouldn't have made the jump to writing reviews instead of video reviews if you hadn't been there to help bridge the gap. And thank you. Really, I mean it. Thank you. I know it's a mega cliche when it comes to YouTubers to say, oh, thanks guys, you're the best, but I do mean it. Those of you who have stuck with me this long, thank you. I hope that you will stick with me as I move into the next phase of my creative life, as I start making things as opposed to talking about them. I hope you follow me on my Facebook, Abel Diaz Writes, because that's where all the news is going to be. That's where I'm going to occasionally maybe write up about a movie that I've seen, but it's not going to be a full-blown review like the old days. Mostly it's going to be talking about production, about where I am with different projects, about who I'm working with. Hopefully a lot of fun things, and I hope you'll be there to join me and see how that goes. And even the YouTube won't entirely be dead. Reviews, updates, and all that, that's not going to happen anymore. But, once in a blue moon, maybe I might do like a vlog or something talking about where I'm at. But don't hold your breath for that kind of thing. Screen Critique, Savage Broadcast, whatever you've known it. In terms of any kind of regular or frequent content production, even just updates, that's gone. Now it's going to be infrequent, and who knows what the future could hold. Maybe in a year or two's time, I might use it to update you on what I'm doing in my writing career. Maybe I'll do it to give you an insight into a writer's room or something like that. But I don't know. The future's a funny thing, and I feel like I'm just rambling and saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to cut it here. Thanks again to everyone who has been with me all this time. Thank you for all the messages, the comments, the thumbs up, the likes, even the more negative opinions. It's always been fun to engage and discuss and debate, even if it ends up taking up like 8 pages of comments. It's been a really fun journey. I've met a lot of great people, and you know what? Because this is the last time, I'm going to do something that I've always wanted to do. Give myself an anime outro. Is it indulgent as all hell? Yes, but you know what? I don't care. In the immortal words from one of the greatest characters in not just anime but possibly fiction period, see you in space, cowboys.
愛してたと嘆くにはあまりにも時は過ぎてしまったまだ心のほころびを癒せぬまま風が吹いてる乾いた瞳で誰か泣いてくれThe real blues 本当の悲しみが知りたいだけ泥の川に浸かった人生も悪くはない一度きり